No. Let me over there.
Oh, buddy Butch, make sure you're doing all right.
Good evening, members of council, Williamsburg County citizens. Can we first do a sound check? This time, do we have anyone joining us on social media that can give us a sound check, as well as our teleconference line, 877-309-2073. That access code is 590-380-589. We do have some members of our county government as well as some citizens in our chambers at this time. We are allowing up to at least 10 people maximum in the facility. This time we are a go. Very good, thank you. We're going to go ahead and call the council meeting to order for May 3rd, 2021.
Madam Supervisor, is it okay if we do a moment of silence? One of our residents, Mr. Leroy McAllister, passed away. He was a pillar of the community, worked on several political parties, also a reverend. So if we can, just take a moment of silence for Mr. Leroy McAllister.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I just ask that everyone keep their his family and friends in prayer.
Yes, thank you, Councilwoman Hammond. We need a motion for the approval of the minutes for both the regularly scheduled council meeting that was held April 20th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers, the same. Motion is carried. We have nothing in our ordinances for a third reading, but we do have a second reading for ordinance number 2021-09, an ordinance to approve the Williamsburg County fiscal year 2021-2022 proposed operating budget. Now, mind you, members of council, we will have some adjustments to the budget, and that will be because we did receive some additional funding. That
Proclamation would be the second, to move to pass the second reading and then entertain any amendments.
I didn't get to that part yet, council. I just wanted to kind of give them a heads up because we have more than just this one that we're going to approve at this time. Again, just letting you know that we do have more that we're going to have to do. We did get one request today, and I don't know if council want to address that today or not, or if we want to wait till the finance meeting that's going to be scheduled for, I believe it's the end of the next week. So we just have to make sure we, get through that process and make sure we do this right. So we do have a second reading of ordinance number, again, 2021-09. What is the pleasure of council?
Motion for second reading?
Second.
Any discussion at this time? Hearing none, all those in favor for second reading of ordinance number 2021-09, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers, the same. I will explain in just a moment, Mr. Jenkinson, exactly what we're doing here with you, off record. The next item we have for second reading is ordinance number 2021-10, an ordinance to provide for a wrecker and towing service operations which are utilized by law enforcement in Williamsburg County and charges for such services. Pleasure of council.
Motion for second.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have one item I'd like to mention. The ordinance provides for a public hearing for the wrecker and towing, as well as the animal and sheltering and humane treatment of animals. Technically, the law does not require a public hearing, but I noticed in a number of other counties, because of the public nature of the ordinance, they recommended that you have a public hearing, but it's optional. And I'd like to know what council's pleasure is, because if you want to advertise it, I'll go ahead and make those arrangements, but if it's not necessary, we will forego that.
I think we should go ahead and do the public hearing on it.
Right.
Be glad to do that.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval for or second reading of ordinance number 2021-10, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers, the same. We'll read that next. Also, second reading of ordinance number 2021-11, an ordinance to provide for the sheltering and humane treatment of animals, to provide penalties for treatment of cruelty of animals, and to provide for the humane tethering of pets. Pleasure.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Madam Supervisor, just to let the other members of council know, at the last meeting, I had some questions about this ordinance, and Mr. Jenkinson and I met today for roughly an hour, and there's going to be some changes to it, not major changes, but I spoke to Sheriff Gardner. Thought I saw him here, right there. And we're all in agreement on what needs to be done, but there will be some little bit of doctrine before the next meeting, okay?
Thank you. Any other discussion? Just hold on for a second. All those in favor of the second reading of ordinance number 2021-11, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers, the same. Motion is carried for second reading. We also have two items for first reading, and that's first reading of ordinance number 2021-12, an ordinance of Williamsburg County, South Carolina, approving an agreement for the enlargement of the joint county industrial park by and between Williamsburg County, South Carolina, and Williamsburg County, South Carolina, and other matters related to the foregoing. And this is under the Lambert LLC and Lambert II LLC. Pleasure of council. Bring in a motion.
Can I make a correction?
Sure.
The first reading of ordinance 2021-12 is for the enlargement of a joint county industrial park that's already existing. Basically, what this does is add the matter related to Lambert I and II LLC. That is for first reading. However, the item number 6 is not an ordinance. That should have been cast, I did not catch it until today, as an amendment of an agreement amending the 2018 agreement. So we will have to do those separately. First is first reading, and the second one is to authorize the execution of the amendment to the 2018 agreement for the development of the jointly owned park. So I would suggest that we make a motion to amend the agenda to reflect that change.
Members of council, we need a motion to amend the agenda to reflect the change of it not being an ordinance, but amending an agreement that was in 2018.
Motion to amend.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers, the same. The motion is carried. So now, Mr. Jenkinson, you want us to go back to 2012 ordinance? Because we did not,
This is 2012 would be the first reading of the ordinance. Yes. And then this next one would be a motion amending the agreement.
okay. First motion was to amend the agenda, and now we're going to go back to the first reading of ordinance number 2021-12. And I need a motion for first reading for 2021-12.
Second.
Thank you. Now we need a motion to amend ordinance, amending the 2018 agreement for the development of a joint county industrial and business park, Georgetown County and Williamsburg County, Liberty Steel, Georgetown. We need a motion for the amendment.
So moved.
This would be an amendment to the agreement.
So the motion needs to be in the form of a motion to amend the agreement of the 2018 agreement. I need a motion.
So move.
In a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers the same. The motion is carried. The next order of business is a proclamation. This came from our Vital Aging Department Executive Director, Mr. Robert Welch, I'm sorry. The Vital Aging Board of Directors, seniors, participants, and staff greatly appreciate the County Council consideration for this resolution proclamation for the Older American Month OAM celebration. The OAM theme this year is Communities of Strength. During the month of May, we recognize that our seniors are truly the pillars of our community and a source of great strength and wisdom for all. Since the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, our senior clients have certainly endured many challenges, and we are hoping to lift their spirits, remove everyday burdens, share a laugh or two, and make their day a little brighter with a smile. We are planning a drive-by celebration on Thursday, May 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and the 20th at our 3 senior wellness centers located in Greeleyville, Hemingway, and King Street. In all effort to help make this day extra special, it will be a day full of fun-filled activities, prizes, games, contests, and giveaways, and a special lunch. Again, on behalf of Mr. Welch of Vital Aging, we thank you, the County Council, for their continued support for seniors in Williamsburg County.
Madam Supervisor, what was that date, the drive-by?
It is drive-by celebration on Thursday, May 20th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
So you just.
And we will have to get specifics about lineup times and locations and all of that. And we'll have that, we'll get that to you via email.
Okay.
And then on the 20th, they'll be at the 3 wellness centers located in Greeleyville, Hemingway, and in King Street. All right, so we need a motion for council to approve the proclamation for the month of May 2021, Older American Month, theme Communities of Strength. I need a motion for approval of the proclamation.
Motion to adopt and approve proclamation.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers the same. The motion is carried. The next order of business is the supervisor's report. I'm making plans to get with our recreation executive director to discuss reopening for some of the community buildings for the May 30th holiday season. We have not gotten all of our plans in order yet, and I'm hoping to be able to do that hopefully again by May 30th. We have supply issues that we need to order, staffing issues we need to talk about, as well as getting more information to County Council by the next council meeting as to how we're going to proceed. So that will take place next meeting. Again, we are still looking for a qualified chief of finance. Candidates, again, must be a CPA that has the ability to become a GFO certified by the state of South Carolina within 1 year of appointment. So we are still aggressively seeking that. The idea from our financial advisor was to look at a recruiting organization that can help with this process to get the word out in a better way than what we've already been trying. So we will be looking at the costs of all those things to get this out to the proper groups of people who may qualify for the position. Vaccines, as far as the county and I believe the hospital at this time, we have not set up for another vaccine blitz at this point for first shots. We are looking sometime real close to the future to be able to do this again in our county. For those districts that we missed for the hashtag Let's Talk, we will be revisiting those areas that were missed and rescheduling dates for our citizens to come on and discuss things with us. They have been very successful in the past, and I would like to keep that going. So we will be getting out a new schedule for that. The American Rescue Plan, again, no new information on this as of yet. Funding is set to somewhat hit counties either sometime in May or the 1st of June. That'll be our 60-day time period. Again, once those funds do hit, it will be discussed with council members, but we will not spend on any of those fundings, and it will not be placed in the general fund. Once we get funding in, we have to make sure we have clear and concise guidelines to go by as to how the funding can be spent. So answers to some questions: no, we have not received the funding source. No, it will not go in the general fund. And yes, the citizens as well as members of county council will be advised of how the funding sources can be spent. Any questions about any of the things I've just talked about, members of council? For the good of the order, council, is there anything you all want to discuss? Hearing none. We need a motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Any discussion?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning, please signify by raising your hand. Opposers, the same. We ask that our Williamsburg County citizens please continue to keep the bereaved families in our prayers, and you all have a great night and be safe.